Hello and welcome to TBH the podcast. I'm Eve.
I'm Darcy.
And I'm Raya, and this is the first episode of our new season.
Yeah, 2021.
2021, baby.
It's been a long time.
It's been
ages.
Has it been a month?
Yeah, must be.
Really?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because we finished just before Christmas, I think, didn't we?
Wow. Got a lot to catch you up on.
Yeah. What a great January it's been so far.
Oh, thrilling. Been so busy.
So busy. What have you been up to?
I nearly had to reschedule, guys. I had so much time.
Yeah, so we're in new lockdown. This new year.
Yeah, third lockdown.
Yeah, we're all absolutely thrilled about it.
Is it just me that's reminiscing on the first?
Like,
it was some sort of dream.
It was like, I remember when we first came out of it and we were all like, God, don't think I want to do that again. Like, it was all right.
I would go back.
I would
go back to summer 2020
I would.
and do the first lockdown again. I would.
Oh, same. Oh, God. There's something about this lockdown that's just way worse.
I feel like it's just knocked everybody out.
Yeah.
It's so different to the first two. As in, it's really different to the first one. But I thought I guess the second was only really a month, but this one is just dragging like I've never even experienced.
Yeah. And
it's definitely more difficult now.
Yeah, I feel like no one has in the first one, everyone was like enthusiastic and was like, yeah, we'll do like Zoom quizzes and we'll do this and we'll do baking and we'll go on walks and all this fun stuff. And everyone's like, I've done all that every day plus year. I'm bored.
Yeah, we're all just bored of doing the same thing and living the same life.
I'm bored of being bored.
Yeah, honestly. Like, how crazy that I will literally sit here and be like, no, I can't do too much work today because I need to spread it out.
Yeah.
I'm deliberately not doing work so I have something to do each day.
Yeah.
Oh,
so sad.
Whereas before I'd be like, let's just get it done in a few days and then I can have a break. I feel like my life is one big break.
Yeah.
Just got nothing to do.
Yeah. Oh, God. I feel like everything was like, in the first one, I felt like I was like thriving. I was doing like all the stuff I needed to do. And I felt like I've got so much time now to catch up on all this stuff. And now I've done all this stuff. And what next? What next, Boris? Please.
Yeah. Well,
I'm begging for some guidance here.
No, there doesn't seem to be an end.
I feel like we've been begging for guidance from Boris from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not really done that very well. But
no, not quite.
No. Did you see? There was I saw a tweet. It was like Sky News had tweeted two headlines, and one was saying Matt Hancock said we weren't in a position to like come out of lockdown anytime soon. Like numbers need to be much lower. And then within about 24 hours, there's another one saying Boris Johnson had said they're thinking about easing restrictions mid-February. Like what?
I think
it's
one of them where they both have conversations with each other, completely disagree with one another, and then just go and speak to two different news outlets and just go, well, it's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they must both have a conversation, not listen to each other, and then go off and say what they thought in the first place.
I assume their egos are just so big that like they don't listen to each other properly. Because why do they keep doing this? It's just becoming really confusing.
It just isn't. It doesn't. It's really getting like infuriating now. I hate talking about it, but now I'm just like, I've had enough. Sick of it.
Yeah, no, I'm sick of it too. But we've got TBH to put us through, guys.
We have.
Oh, we do, and our lovely listeners at home do too.
Exactly.
Big things coming in 2020 or 2021.
Because we've got absolutely nothing else to do.
We've got crazy stuff planned.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've really hyped this up now.
In it, don't get
stuff.
Too much, please.
I'm excited about next week's episode. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, next week will be good. We're having a calm one this time. Strap in for next week.
Buckle up.
Oh my God. The news. What's been happening since we've got a month's worth of news to discuss, fill everyone in on.
So much has happened.
A lot has happened.
Everything always happens in January. Like, do you remember last January? It was like the fires in Australia. and Kobe. It was just wild. And then there was the whole like, oh my God, there's going to be World War III. And now we've got a whole new set of news that's just...
Yeah. So, Britain-wise, we've had the new lockdown. That's the good news, actually. Vaccine. That's going well.
Vaccine.
My grandma's had her first vaccination.
My granddad's been vaccinated.
So's mine.
Oh,
nice.
Exciting stuff. Jealous.
Honestly, it's like a light at the end of the tunnel there, isn't it, with this vaccine?
It really is.
Yeah.
Because now that my granddad's had it, I feel a lot more
at ease.
Positive. Yeah. That it is going to come to an end eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like we're actually making progress rather than like temporary. It feels more like permanent progress rather than temporary progress.
Especially because of the whole, like the spike over Christmas.
That was bound to happen though, with the way that the rules they put in and stuff, and like we even said it on here just before. We were like, it's just so silly that they were like, oh, just for this one day, like coronavirus is like Jesus' birthday. Let's have a day off, shall we? Do you know what I mean? It's not. It just annoyed me, but it's fine. What's happened has happened.
Yeah,
and here we are.
It's a very turbulent start to the new year. Not so much here, but in America.
Oh, it's always a bit turbulent now.
It was a wild time, wasn't it?
I feel like
I think there was
did it to shake things up a bit.
Like,
what can we do?
Everyone's a bit bored. Let's go out.
We are, just so I'm clear, we are talking about the riots.
Yes, we are.
The shambles
on the 6th of January. That was like pre-planned, wasn't it? Because they were all wearing like t-shirts like January 6th, and nobody picked up on it. Very strange. That was really.
I saw a tweet. I feel like we always reference tweets, but I saw a tweet, and it basically said, "I was always so surprised that Trump was never kind of assassinated, or there was no attempt to kind of assassinate him." Is that the right word? I think so.
Yeah.
And then she was like, yeah, but then really the only people kind of radical enough and dumb enough to do that are his supporters. So of course it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's. I think someone did try, didn't they? When he first became president, there was. I think he was English.
Yeah, they didn't get very far at all.
No,
I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
There was an attempt, I think. Not that we would like that.
I'm not saying I want him assassinated. I'm just saying it's considering the circumstances and how radical he is with his views. Not radical, extreme probably is the better term, but I'm not saying I'm dead or anything.
No. But what baffled me was that they just were like allowed in.
Yeah. Like it's almost like there was someone there like, oh, you want to come in? Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't tell them it was me though.
Yeah. Do you know what? I saw a tweet as well, which I like really laughed at, and it was like people were saying like, oh, why were there barely any police there? Like there were so many like rioters and nowhere near as many police. And the tweet was like, that's like asking where Miley is when Hannah's on stage.
I saw that.
It's like
I saw that. Oh God.
I'm not saying anything, but you know.
We know and you know.
But also saying something.
We'll just leave it at that, you know.
It's very odd. I was talking to my housemates about what's Donald Trump like actually going to do now, because he's nobody now, really.
Arrested?
He's on trial for inciting a riot. I don't know. I haven't been following it, so I'm not entirely sure. But I do know that he was, and I think. But he's literally just a rich bloke now.
He's like, rich. He's in like loads of debt.
Good.
Well, there we go then. I just can't. He'll get like the only reason he was, which he shouldn't have been. The only reason he wasn't convicted of a lot of the crimes he was alleged to have committed, is because
you can't be arrested as a president, which I think is correct.
Can you not? That's so stupid.
You have to wait. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions here, but I'm pretty sure you can't be arrested as the president.
You should be able to. You should be able to be arrested.
I think you can be arrested, but I think they wouldn't put you in prison. I think it would be a case of like you do your sentence after your presidential term type thing.
I don't know.
Imagine.
I don't know.
He was impeached twice.
I know, twice.
2 times he was impeached. And yet he was still allowed to continue. And it was just
insanity.
like, yeah, absolutely insane. So much of it. And like now, I don't know where he's at. I don't know what he's up to. I don't really care either. Also, can we talk about how he's been banned off like every social media platform ever, including Pinterest? He can't even make his mood boards now.
Poor can't make the mood boards. I mean,
honestly, you can't even like plan how he's going to decorate his new gaff. It's just
talking about decorating his gaff. Diet Coke button.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god.
Cry.
I mean, I don't like the man. I would actually say I strongly dislike him. But that Diet Coke button, I want one in my life. I really do.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes me laugh that the leader of the free world was like so into Diet Coke that he had to have a button for like a little servant to bring on.
I feel like people who like Diet Coke are like categorized as like people being in this sort of cult, because I see it all the time where it's like what feels like a cult but isn't, and it's like Diet Coke drinkers.
Yeah, everybody who drinks Diet Coke is like addicted to Diet Coke.
Yeah, I am one of those people.
It's not a Diet Coke I'm drinking, by the way. It's Coke Zero. Yeah. It's less of a cult.
I am a Diet Coke drinker, and I would say I do love it. I really do.
I can't lie, guys. I'm a Pepsi Max.
I'm a Pepsi Max gal, but they only had Coke Zero at the shop, so I had to settle.
It's acceptable. It is acceptable.
I was at a restaurant and I said, "Can I have a Diet Coke?" And they said, "No, you can have a Diet Pepsi." I'd be like, "No, get me a lemonade."
No, not Diet Pepsi. Pepsi Max.
No, I don't want Pepsi. Don't give me Pepsi.
Pepsi Max.
It's like,
I love Pepsi Max.
I see Pepsi as the Samsung to the iPhone. I really do.
Like Diet Pepsi, but I love Pepsi Max.
Yeah, I agree. But also, I swear, like Samsungs are actually better. iPhones are just nicer to use.
Samsungs are sold more, and I'm pretty sure Pepsi's really big too. It's huge. It's just not for me.
All right, that's fair. That's fine.
I don't think I could be converted. Like, I don't think I could be converted to a Samsung either.
Oh no, I couldn't. Definitely not.
Samsung.
No, but how wild though. Like, the marketing of Apple have honestly made us think that anyone who uses a Samsung phone is like
gross.
Like, how bad is that? That I will, if like, I see someone who has like a Snapchat quality of a Samsung phone, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay, but they have done that to us.
Yeah, in my head though, Samsungs and like Androids and stuff are like work phones.
Yeah,
they're not like phones.
I get what you mean.
Which I know it sounds so stupid, because anybody that can have 2 phones is like living a life. But like, also in my head, it is a work phone.
Yeah.
So
I get what you mean.
I don't know. It just feels like it would be good for business. You know, like the BlackBerry Bolds.
Oh yeah.
Sort of like
I never had one of them.
Like that. Did you have not? You had an iPhone.
Yeah, because I had a phone really late, so.
Yeah. So you just.
I had one of the OG Blackberries.
Nice. We're getting down a path.
I know we are. Diet Coke Blackberries. What else has been happening? First female vice president. Very exciting.
Yeah. Exciting news.
Very exciting.
You know what my mum said to me? We were just talking about it, and she was like, she thinks that either Biden's gonna I don't know if the word is quit, but like step down. Either before the end of 4 years or at 4 years, to let her take over.
Really? Oh, that'd be interesting.
That wouldn't super surprise me, because he's quite old.
Yeah. And I feel like she's doing a great job.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Like, fresh, young, female.
I think if that was going to happen, I think that maybe could happen. You know, he'll do his 4 years now, and then there'll be a re-election. And then if they get re-elected, he'll step down for a few months. Like, actually.
Or she would run next time. Is she allowed to do that?
Yeah. Because he was Obama's vice president.
No, I know, but there was I
think if he decides not to, she can't run like against him. I don't think, because she's vice. But
even still, he might be something like that, where he just decides that he doesn't want to continue because he wants her to carry on for him, maybe. But yeah, that's what
he might do.
That was my mother's little.
Interesting.
I was a big fan of the outfits, of all the like matching purpley blue outfits.
Did you see all the retweets of the 3 women being linked to the Jonas Brothers?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was so funny.
Did you see the comparison of what Michelle Obama wore for Trump's inauguration compared to what she wore this time?
She looks that
I didn't see that.
Such a glow up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God.
She's wearing like a nice, like corduroy-ish, like short sleeve, very long skirt, like dress for Trump's, and then in this one she was wearing like a flare, big buckled belt, and a blazer, and it was all very, very cool. She looked wonderful. I have to say, lovely. She did.
I was just like, oh,
we love Michelle.
I'm a big fan of Michelle.
We can't ignore, of course, the Bernie Sanders memes that have been happening.
Oh my God, they are so funny.
They're good. I'm beginning to like get bored, but I think Bernie in his mittens, a good man, a good bloke.
My dad sent me a pattern for making the mittens, and I sent it to my housemate who does knitting, and she's gonna make them.
Oh yes, perfect.
One where he was sat on stage with Justin Bieber when he was singing "One Less Lonely Girl."
Yeah,
I was crying because he was just like,
Oh, good. It's been all right. It's been all right.
Follow us at TBH the podcast on Twitter and at tbh.thepodcast on Instagram.
So while we've been gone, there's been a lot of like influencer drama kicking off.
When isn't there?
When isn't there? It's an excellent question. I think a good place to start would be everybody who's been in Dubai over the past few months,
jetting off,
doing stuff, jetting off over there for some reason. I don't know why Dubai. Why do they?
Because I think the restrictions over there were quite limited at the time.
Yeah, and there was a travel for quite a while. There was like a travel corridor with Dubai, so you didn't have to quarantine when you got back. Whereas most of Europe, you had to quarantine when you got back.
Dubai is very hot over that period of time.
Over winter.
Very hot.
There's been all sorts though. Like, I think I saw stuff with, wasn't there one with Zara McDermott, who she like went somewhere with her boyfriend and posted a brand deal thing with Misguided and blurred out the background of like the windows where she was stood, and nobody really clocked it. And then Misguided posted the same picture without the background blurred, and you could see she was at like this really sunny hot country. And I think she tried to save herself by saying she took all the pictures beforehand, but it's like, well, why did you blur the background out then? Like, obviously you're there now, aren't you?
No,
so that
she
was
always gets caught out.
I know.
No.
So that was, and her and Sam are back together, which has annoyed me, but it's fine.
About you. Did you watch Made in Chelsea? Had you been watching it?
I did. After you told me about that drama, I was like, I must.
I haven't been watching it, but I've seen it on like social media.
It's really upset me.
There were lots of TikTokers who went to Dubai as well.
Yeah. I wasn't aware that TikTok was an essential job.
No.
I was unaware of that.
Very.
And the thing is, right, if you want to go on holiday,
just say you're going on holiday.
You're going on holiday.
Like, I think
people will be annoyed that you're going on holiday anyway.
Yeah.
So don't make them more annoyed by being like,
lie about it.
For work.
Because what do you need to go to Dubai for to promote face
makeup? Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. You can do that in your bedroom.
Well, a lot of them have been saying they're travelling for work, but I saw someone said on Twitter, it's like there's a difference between travelling for work and being able to get work anywhere you go. Like, because obviously influencers their job is to post things on Instagram and like influence basically, and you can do that from wherever you go. But they're saying, I have to travel to Dubai for work.
Because some jobs you have to travel for.
Yeah,
a lot of brands will take influencers to Dubai because Dubai is seen as like this really kind of elite place to go at the moment, where it's like cool to be seen. So not only does it attract people to the country, but obviously it will promote the brand in like a really high way. But we're not going anywhere, so why are you going to Dubai? Like, we can't go, so You're not attracting us there.
Very weird.
Yeah, it was like the face
Very
primer one. It
weird.
was like, oh, in a hot climate and with a mask on. And I'm like, no one's in a hot climate. None of the audience are in a hot climate.
No, so
they don't need to know.
Really strange. I think there was also something that I saw on Twitter, and I haven't seen it, so this is just. But there was a tweet saying that there was a girl on this morning, this very morning, Tuesday morning, who said that being an influencer was the same as being a key worker. You were classed as a key worker if you were an influencer.
I'm not sure about that.
No, exactly. And somebody said, like, that's like kind of offensive towards like people who are actually like putting their lives on the line every day to go in and look after other people.
Yeah, who are being paid a lot less to do much of a harder job. And I'm not saying influencing isn't a job. If you're an influencer, that's
not
a great,
at all.
Very valid job. But
valid job.
Yeah.
You can do it from your bedroom.
Job. Yeah.
But that's the thing, you can do it from your bedroom, as it's been proven. Like YouTube, where a lot of big influencers come from,
started when they were 13.
Career in their bedroom. Do you know what I mean? Like, they weren't jetting off. This has only been a recent thing where people have been taken abroad. So to say it's an essential thing for you to do is just kind of, it's not only mocking us, but it's mocking your own industry. Because it's like, that's not even where you came from. Like,
you're making your own job look
exactly.
bad.
Yeah. I think there is like, there are differences in people. Like, some influencers will see themselves as being like above a lot of other people, but they're the type of people that set out to become influencers from the start, whereas it's fallen in some people's laps and they've dealt with it in a better way.
The best ones are the ones who are like 13 and decided to make some YouTube videos at home and they've made a career out of it. Like, those people, I'm genuinely impressed. I'm like, that's really good going. You've done something, you've turned a hobby into a career. Good on you.
Yeah.
But it's the people who, like, you can tell now there's a culture of you go on Love Island to get a career out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas it never used to be that way. It used to be like a bonus. That you would maybe get some brand deals when you left. But now it's kind of like that's why people go on it.
Yeah.
But you watch early seasons and you can tell they're just normal people.
Yeah.
Like, you watch like Olivia Bowen's season, she's a normal person.
Yeah.
Which is why I think she's still so relatable now, because she's still a normal person.
Yeah.
Even though she's got all this stuff. Like,
season 2 was my favourite for that reason.
Yeah. For sure.
Because wasn't Alex like a bricklayer or something?
Yeah.
And now everything's like, oh yeah, I'm a model, or I mean, do you know, it's all these kind of like elite.
Yeah, well, it's because Love Island used to apply for, and now they just scout everyone.
They scout. Which is not like, I don't know, you always find someone who's like sort of done something already. So obviously, Paige Turley was on it last year.
Yeah.
Or like, because she was they won decks.
Yeah, but that was how they knew who she was. Yeah. Without that, they wouldn't have known, which is fine and good for her, because obviously her and whoever she was with, Finn.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they're still together. That's great. Good for them. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of it's just like, she sings and now she's been able to bring out music and stuff. Really? So did she do that as a yeah? So
because she did
that singer beforehand.
Yeah, I remember.
But it's like, did you do that just to boost your career? If you did, cool. But like, that's not, a lot of these shows have become like that, and I just find it a bit.
It's a shame.
No.
Yeah.
It ruins it, because it's like with Drag Race. Everyone says that the first few seasons of Drag Race are always better than the ones that become way too like produced.
Yeah.
We say all this. Best believe when Love Island's back on,
we'll
watch it religiously.
God, yeah, for sure. We'll be reviewing it on here. It'll be
we'll
fun.
definitely be watching it.
I'm so excited for Love Island to come back on and us do like weekly.
Have they said it's going to happen this year or not?
They haven't said anything yet.
Because obviously they did and they did that okay. So
they said, I'm sure they said last year that summer 2021 it would be going ahead.
Oh, okay, that's
probably.
They essentially make them quarantine for 2 weeks before they go in anyway, because they hide them in the press and stuff. So I can't see how difficult it would be to do.
I don't think
No, I think it would be. It would be fine. I think it's just getting all the crew there and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the issue. But I think what are they doing at the minute? Celebs Go Dating.
Oh yeah,
started yesterday. they're doing The Mansion, which is basically Love Island, because you've got all the like normal people,
Love
and then
Islanders
all the
with
celebs and...
ex-Love Islanders.
Yeah,
exactly.
I haven't watched it, I think I will though.
I saw a little bit of it last night, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Hasn't it got what's it called? Is it Gary Lineker's?
Yeah, Wayne Lineker, like Ocean Beach.
Yeah. Oh no, how weird!
Oh, he's so strange from the start.
He gives me really weird vibes.
Darcy, he had like a chat, right? I was watching it last night, and he had
his age.
He was speaking to this woman, and he was like, she was like, "Oh, I'm 39," and he was like, "Oh, you're older than the women I usually go for." And in my head, I was thinking, well, he's definitely older than her, but he can't be. He's 58. He's 58.
Well,
and he's like, "Oh,
I thought he was about 58."
No, but I'm sure like
this is what
58 and he thought 39 was old.
Yeah, because
exactly
what he does is he just like roams around his Ocean Beach.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Because I saw his post on
Wayne, woohoo!
Because I saw that post he did last year where he was like, "Oh, my family think I need a girlfriend. Here's my criteria," and it was like, "Oh, we talked about it on here, didn't we?"
Yeah, you know full well that's how he's been scouted on Celebrity Dating anyway. But like. I was just watching it and it was mad, and he was the last one to come in. They were all stood in like the foyer bit, and Tom Zanetti's on this season as well.
Oh, wow.
I feel like he's going to be the next Wayne Lineker.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like that sort of like he just thinks he's so beautiful and a constant womanizer.
He was with Hayley from Love Island for a while, wasn't he?
Was it? Oh yeah, I remember that.
Hayley Hughes.
Oh yes, I do remember. Because yeah. He did that music video with her, didn't he? She was in a car. I don't know. And they were also in the foyer, and it was like Curtis Pritchard was there, and I didn't know a few people. There was one guy, he like was on Strictly, but he did a show as well before. Can't remember his name. But like, and then like Chloe Ferry and stuff. But Wayne Lineker walks in, and the only people who seemed to know who he was and like greeted him were Tom Zanetti and Chloe Ferry. And I was like,
obviously,
of course. Who else? It was just a bit. Yeah, I feel a bit odd. No, he's on like the first two seasons.
He's been on Celebrity Dating before.
That's what I thought. I thought he's been promoting it for some reason.
He might have done.
He might have been doing some social media stuff.
Maybe.
It's quite possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think Sam Thompson and Pete Wicks were my favourites for sure, because they're just good pals now. It's quite nice. It's a good time.
Pete Wicks seems nice.
He just seems like a good bloke, but actually, there's some in like when he's like going on dates with people, and I'm like, maybe you're not a good bloke.
Well, I haven't actually seen.
Have you ever watched Howie?
He looks friendly.
No,
I haven't watched Howie. Is he not?
Oh, okay.
He is a typical I am God's gift. I will cheat on you and you better say thank you. Sort of guy. I am sorry.
But Sam's such a good bloke, and I thought they were friends, so he must be nice.
They're friends because they're total opposites.
Yeah.
So they kind of bounce off each other. Oh yeah, no. Peter Wicks has cheated on so many girls. I'm not saying he's not a nice guy. I'm just saying I wouldn't say he was a happy chappy, pure soul.
All right, fair dues. I suppose you can't say you know.
No, definitely not.
No, definitely not when it's celebrities on like reality TV.
I used to watch Howie all the time. Thought you were great. But...
Did you?
I never really got into Howie.
Oh god, I used to love it. I used to watch it religiously. Honestly,
I've started watching Made in Chelsea from the beginning. Like the first season.
The original Made in Chelsea cast were so good.
Is that with like Vicky Felstead and like Hugo and
Lucy? Lucy was my favourite character. She's not a character.
Oh, Lucy, what's the face?
Watson.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you'll see the episode where there's this woman called Victoria, and she's talking to this girl called Francesca over this big Christmas dinner table, and she's like, "Shut your effing fat face, you fat effing turkey." And Lucy's like, "You're so rude," and she's like, "Fat turkey." Yeah, it's so bad. And then these are just some of my favourite bits. They had like some sort of like Bollywood themed party, and there was this girl who was quite funky. She dressed quite like just had cool fashion sense. I don't know. And she had this really elaborate like nose piercing thing in. And her and Lucy were having this argument, and Lucy turned around and went, "Your nose ring looks tacky." It's just how they say things. She's like, "Yeah, your nose ring looks tacky."
Well, I watched I think it was like the newest season. There's a girl on there who she goes, "Oh, crumbs," and it just does me in every time. Like how anyone could say that.
I love that clip.
So posh.
I don't know who it might have been. Is it Lucy? She exposes Hugo for cheating.
Oh no, that's Millie.
Millie.
She just slaps him
with and because she stands up and she just like makes an announcement at that party, doesn't she?
Oh my god. No,
with Rosie. Yeah, he's been chatting with Rosie. And she's like, "My best friend Rosie Fortescue and my boyfriend," and it's like, and everyone's sat there like, "Oh my god."
No, that was Millie about Rosie.
Yeah. She was exposing Rosie.
Yeah. God, that was such a time.
Yeah.
And when Spencer and Louise had that emotional breakup on the bridge, and Spencer was like, how do you expect me to respect you when you let me cheat on you?
I know.
That's mad. I saw that clip and I was just like,
what do you mean?
In bits.
And she's like, "Oh my god, I hate you." And he's like, "Yeah, you're going to go cry home to your mum."
He's a dad now.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It is crazy. I was watching the first few seasons though, and it's mad how produced it looks. It's just so clearly not real. And obviously they've got like, also Jamie Lang is still in it. Like he was in like
beginning.
Yeah, he was in like he came in second season, and he's just still there.
What else is he doing? Running Candy Kittens.
Running Candy Kittens and McVitie's.
He's the heir to the McVitie's fortune. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's so funny.
Biscuit fortune.
Big biscuit fortune.
Big biscuit fortune. There's a McVitie's factory near my house.
Is there?
There is.
Wow.
About a 15-minute drive from my house, there's a McVitie's factory. And 15 minutes the other way, there's a Swizzles factory. Tell you what, we've got them all.
Wow. Listen to us live every Thursday on Brayford Radio at 10.
We felt like we would take it back and kind of go back to our roots and do a little boy talk kind of advice sort of segment. We're all in very healthy, happy relationships. Don't mean to brag.
That's all rubbish.
Kind of had enough time to kind of be able to give some advice. You don't have to take any of it, obviously, but we kind of know what we're on about most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
So we have gone on to the student room and just searched for a few questions, kind of queries, just to talk about. So I found this one. They're all anonymous. Saying, "Hi. So my boyfriend has a girl best friend, and honestly, I have no problem with that at all. What I do have a problem with is they're constantly flirting with him, trying to kiss him. And one time she even asked him out, knowing full well he was dating me. My boyfriend spoke to her about this and said that it's inappropriate for her to do this, and it makes him and I both feel really uncomfortable. She seemed to have listened, but now it's all starting again. Basically, what I'm asking is, should I talk to her or should my boyfriend? If so, what would we say?"
Interesting.
Now.
That doesn't sound to me like a best mate.
No, it does not.
That sounds like someone who fancies you.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. I think also, if he's actually said to her, "This is weird, it makes me uncomfortable," and she's continuing, I feel like you wouldn't do that without receiving some sort of signal from the person, unless she's just like absolutely unhinged. What do you guys think?
Well, she also said at the bottom, just to throw it in there, that her boyfriend can't not be friends with this person because their families are really close and they are honestly really good friends, and she wouldn't want their friendship to end because of their relationship.
Okay.
And that is all lovely. However,
if
she is getting involved in something that she does not need to be in.
No, that's I definitely, as if he's already spoken to her as the girlfriend, I feel like I'd go and be like, listen, this is weird. You should stop doing that.
You should just back off a bit.
You should just
back off.
Yeah, that's so strange. That's such a weird,
really odd behaviour, because that's disrespect. That's like, I know you're in a relationship, I know who she is, but I don't care.
Because the worst part is that, like, he's actually spoken to her about it as well. Because some people are very flirty and don't realise they are.
Yeah.
I still don't think that's a great way to be with your friend that you know is in a relationship, but maybe you just haven't thought about it. But the fact that it's been addressed and she doesn't care is
the bit at the end with, but they're honestly just really good friends. And it's like, but why are they honestly really good friends? Because he's meant to want your best interests, and he clearly doesn't, because he's prioritising this flirty friendship over your friendship.
Also,
knowing full well that it's upsetting you.
Just because your families are friends doesn't mean you have to get on. Like,
also it doesn't mean you have to be best friends. You can be civil and friendly.
Yeah.
You can say hi at Christmas. She's not saying you can't do that.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's entirely her. I do think there must be some sort of signals coming from, if there's not, there's not. But
or there's something that's happened in the past that she's clinging on to,
that he's not told his girlfriend about, for sure.
No, that's fishy. Sure. I would have a very important conversation with him.
For sure.
And maybe, from my perspective, see it from an outsider's view. And how, if it was happening to your friend, what advice would you give her?
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be hard and all, but like, he's not an angel. No boy's an angel.
He needs to be addressed.
He needs to be addressed.
He needs to talk to her again, and if it still doesn't work, you need to go and talk to her.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's very odd.
Very, very odd. I'm so glad I never had to deal with anything like that.
Yeah, no. I don't have the energy for drama. I really just don't.
I feel like if anything like that happened to me, I'd just be like, well, crack on then.
Okay.
This is an intense one, really long, and I think it's a bit confusing, so we're going to have to dissect.
Okay.
So, for a few months, I've been testing the waters with a girl who admitted to wanting something more with me, but the fact I dated some of her mates put her off. She then came to say she couldn't do this to one of her friends, as in be in a relationship with him, etc. But we could remain friends, which I was cool with. Not cool as in fantastic, but cool as in fine, okay.
All right.
Anyhow, after this, about 4 days later, his ex messaged him asking if he could make a real go of things for the last time. I don't know why the last time, but and well, now we're back together. But here's the pickle. He literally put on here's the pickle.
Nice.
These two are friends. And she is the one that liked me but couldn't date me because of this fact. They are now best friends, and they're now not best friends, but they do talk. What should I do? Because I feel like this makes me look two-faced towards this girl I really liked. Genuinely, I had feelings for her, and we weren't really getting on like together. But I said that I didn't have feelings for my ex, which at the time I didn't. I hated her.
But now he's with her.
But now he's with her.
Honestly, bro, just get out.
Bro, leave these poor girls alone. Leave these poor girls alone and start fresh.
Did you reason you and your ex broke up?
Yeah. My God.
Don't be your ex's best friend. Even if they're not best friends anymore, just go find somewhere else. He doesn't know them.
There's so many people. Yeah. There's so many people in the world. So many friendship groups you could get involved in.
But then there's also a part of me that's like, babes, what happened to mates before dates? Why are you going for your best friend's ex-boyfriend? And I'm
so confused.
Do you know, this is a lot. So he
So
said
many exes.
he wants to try it again for the last time, which means
they've tried again before.
Tried it again before.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, that's not the first time they've tried to get back together.
I don't think this friend is very friendly.
No, I strongly agree.
And why was... Yeah, no. Just go and date someone else.
I'm not
Go date someone else. You seem like you're in a proper pickle.
Yeah, go date people who aren't all friends with each other.
Yeah, because it's not healthy for anybody.
Never get involved with like your friend's ex, your ex's friend.
No.
Don't.
Really not.
You can't have your cake and eat it. Go elsewhere.
Yeah, go elsewhere. There are plenty of fish in the sea.
There's no need.
And you seem very confused.
Yeah, innit? I'm completely lost with
I'm a
any
bit
of
baffled
this.
as to who's who in this story, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
never mind like being in it.
Very, very confused.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, leading on from this, I want to know your guys' opinion on dating people that your friends have previously dated. Because I think this is a really interesting thing to talk about.
It depends on the context.
I am very 50-50 about it.
Because I think if you mean like dated as in like were boyfriend and girlfriend in year 10.
Yeah.
That's different.
I might get over it.
Who was together for 2 years when they were 20. Very different.
Very different. It depends on the situation as well. Like, how did they break up? Like,
then I also think that we always look at it from the perspective of the ex-girlfriend. So, like, how would we feel if our best friend suddenly started dating our current boyfriend? Obviously, we'd hate it.
Yeah.
However, I have been listening to podcasts where people have been discussing this sort of subject, and they've said that sometimes you've got to look at it from the perspective of the best friend, because personally, I want the best for my best friends. Like, I could only ever wish them the most like amazing life, and I would feel awful if I had stopped something because it's just because it's hurt my feelings. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I think it fully depends on context.
Yeah.
Like, if they were just like a fling and like it wasn't anything too serious and they're like fine with each other now, then I don't see an issue. If they were together for like 5 years and like they were devastated after the breakup, maybe avoid it unless
avoid at all costs, because then it would be like, oh my god, have you always fancied each other? Like, when did this begin? But then there's also a part of me that's like, there's a reason you broke up, and there's also a reason why you're best friends. So obviously he will find you attractive because you're similar to your friends.
Probably.
And there's a reason why you two get on. I think obviously that's really rare occasions, but like, imagine if they were meant to be like they were soulmates, and like just because I was a bit upset, I didn't allow it. Like,
yeah, but I think the thing to consider also is sort of like the person who's the love interest in this situation is like, how's their thought process like if you split up with your girlfriend or boyfriend and then when but I fancy like their best mate, like you've got to then realize that you're going to be around the person you were with before for a lot, and it's going to be an uncomfortable situation. That's a lot to like put on yourself. So to do that, you have to probably feel quite strongly for the other person. Do you know what I mean? So you think there must be a good enough reason to be able to do it. So I don't know. It's like you said, it's dependent on the situation.
It completely depends on the people, the environment, like the history.
Yeah.
But honestly, it really gets me thinking, because I'm like, oh my god, what would I do?
Yeah, I don't know what I would do.
I would hate to be in that situation, but like genuinely, what would you do? I don't know.
I don't know. Again, it would fully depend on who and where and how. Because someone's feelings are going to get hurt. Like,
it's so difficult, because for me personally, I don't look at my friends' boyfriends in that way, and never have. No. So for me, it's kind of like this weird grey area where I'm a bit like, I don't really understand how this could happen, because I look at my friends' boyfriends and I'm like, you're like a brother, like you're like the other part of my best friend because you're always there anyway. So how it could turn to like romantic feelings,
I'm exactly the same.
I don't understand.
You just don't. It doesn't cross your mind.
No. So weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, no.
Good question.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing to talk about.
Yeah, it is. Let us know. What would you do?
What would you do? Has it ever happened?
Yeah, tell us. If it happened to you, please let us know, because I would love.
I would love to know how you dealt with it.
Love to hear the juice. Follow us at TBH at the podcast on Instagram. DM us, let us know.
Tweet us.
Yeah.
You're listening to TBH the podcast. To finish off for our last segment, we wanted to do some recommendations, what we've been enjoying, what we've been watching, reading, eating, you know.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff, because there's not a lot to do. Everyone needs good recommendations.
We all need to feel inspired.
We do. I've watched a lot of things, but a lot of things I've already seen. So I'm working my way through How I Met Your Mother again, because I don't think it's one of those programs where I'm pretty sure I've seen most of it, but never all the way through in the right order.
Yeah.
So I'm watching
just always
in the right order. Yeah, which is quite nice, because that's very like easy to watch, like nice and chill. And I also watched Bridgerton in 2 days and loved it.
I liked Bridgerton.
And I am thoroughly enjoying Bridgerton the musical on TikTok.
Yeah.
What? I've missed this.
Search Bridgerton the musical on TikTok. There's these 2 girls. They've written songs for like every character, like full on songs, not just like little like tunes, like
it's amazing.
Produced songs.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
So that's mine.
I'm obsessed with the Bridgerton soundtrack because it's modern songs by an orchestra, which my mind
They're
is
really
blown.
nice
It's so good.
when you're doing work. Those on the background, very nice.
I've been really enjoying Taylor Swift's new albums for doing work.
Oh,
so good. I literally put both of the albums in one album, like on one playlist in Spotify.
Yeah.
And I literally just press play, and they're just so like chill. You know, like back to the old Taylor roots.
Yeah.
You know, the whole Shake It Off rubbish that she was doing, because I really didn't enjoy that phase. But like proper good songwriting, which I feel like she kind of diverted from. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really know.
No, I get what you mean. She went a little bit more pop, and now
it's very folk country, but chill, and it's just so nice to work to.
Yeah, I might have to give that a go, actually, because I've not listened to any.
I've not listened.
I recommend the song Willow, the song August, I think, and Betty. I like Betty. Betty is very like, I can't remember who's done it before. It kind of gives me like Dolly Parton vibes, where it's like she tells a story of, do you know like those songs that are like older where it's like telling the story of a murder?
Yeah.
That sort of vibe, but she's like telling the story of like how her friend and her like became like enemies, and how like she's really sorry, but it's not just, that's what the whole album's like. It's really like, it's proper storytelling rather than just like a melody and a few lyrics go in between.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
I
like that.
I really like it.
Nice. Oh, that's exciting.
Back to when I mentioned before that I kind of am trying to relive my lockdown 1 phase. I rewatched Normal People.
Nice.
Just because I think it's so good.
I never finished it. I didn't want to watch that.
Are you
I didn't want to watch
joking?
that last episode. I knew it would make me cry so much. I did not want to watch that last episode.
You need to watch
I've
it
watched
from the beginning to the end right now.
I never finished it because I got so bored. Because I was like, they are not bored with the story, but bored with them as characters. Because I was like, they're just annoying me now.
Yeah.
No, because there's a second book. So
does that mean a second season?
Well, I assume so.
Is it what is it? Conversations with Friends?
Yeah.
Is that about them?
I
don't know, but they have said that I think they're going to do a season 2 potentially.
Interesting.
So
I might try and watch the second half again.
I think because it's not a typical love story, is it? So, like, I guess if you want that typical love story, then it's maybe not for you. But the whole point of it is that no matter how much you love someone, you kind of have to put yourself first.
Yeah. I did enjoy what I saw of it, and I think I just like fell out of the like groove with it, and then never got. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, when you're just like, no, I'd rather watch something else, and then you never go back to it.
No, go back to it. It's so good. It's probably my favourite season ever.
I'll give it a go.
I literally watched the first time I watched it in a day, and then the second time I watched it was last week, and I watched it in a day and a half. But the episodes are only like half an hour each, so
yeah. One series I watched
easy.
A while ago, actually. I might have actually watched it in summer, but I forgot about it. It's just like it's funny, but I also cried in like every episode. It's There She Goes on BBC iPlayer, and it's got David Tennant and Jessica Hines, and they've got like a disabled daughter called Rosie, and it's about them like trying to find out how to like do everything for Rosie, and it's so good. And she's like 9 years old, and it like flashes back to when she was a baby, and like it's funny, but also like every episode makes you cry at something. I think you'd both quite like it, and it's like really easy to watch. They're like half an hour.
Do you know what I think you guys would love?
Okay,
it's on Channel 4. It's called It's a Sin.
I need to watch it.
I'm planning to watch it already.
It is so good.
I've been meaning to watch it. I keep seeing the trailers and I'm like, I need to watch that when it comes out. And now I'm like, I need to get on it.
Cried and cried and cried. Oh my God, it's so good. I didn't realise it was the lead singer of Years and Years.
Yeah.
I didn't realise.
I think his mum or his dad is an actor on like Corrie or EastEnders or something like that. So he's already got like the
in.
Yeah, no, Years and Years. It's a Sin is so good. It's so good.
That's exciting. I have a thing, right? It's not a TV thing. I don't know about you guys, but when I was little, I was very crafty. I like doing like making things and like painting and like doing stuff like that. And I went to the range the other day because we love the range, a bargain. And they had loads of like painting by numbers, really cheap. I want to do that. So I've bought a painting by numbers, and it's like the most calming, therapeutic thing. And like you just sit and do a little bit like every night. I'm doing some dolphins. I'm having the time of my life.
I really want to get one.
I would absolutely recommend it. It's so much
I might get one when I go back to
I might get one.
Do it. It's nice because then you finished it and you're like, I've done this. That was me. I did that. It's just pretty cool.
Oh my God, cool. I love that idea.
Definitely do it. It's a good
on the same sort of thing. My boyfriend bought like an embroidery like cross stitch like set in the first lockdown.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to get into that. Never touched it. It just got sat there. So then like just after Christmas, I was like, I want to get it out and like have a play around with it. So I've been doing embroidery.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Crafty.
Nice. I love it.
Doing anything crafty,
Not very much, but it's nice. Therapeutic.
Yeah,
that sounds fun. Like learning new stuff's always fun, isn't it?
I'll send you a picture of my creations.
Reading a bit more because I'm sick of staring at screens. It's all I seem to be doing. Like if I'm not working on my dissertation, I'm either on FaceTime with a friend or speaking to family on like Zoom or something, or I've got a quiz. Do you know what I mean? I'm always looking at a screen, and I've been waking up with headaches. So I was like, I need to start like prioritizing parts of my day to just reading. So I found this cool website called, I can't remember now. Is it called World of Books or something?
Yeah.
Just check. Yeah, it's called World of Books, and they're all secondhand, but they're going for like really reasonable prices. So like if you went into a typical Waterstones, you're pretty set on the fact that you're coming £13-14 short when you leave that door. But because they're all secondhand, obviously they're not doing full prices. So I got like 3 books for £10, and they're all in really good condition. So
That's really cool.
It's really good. And second hand, it's good.
Yeah, helping the environment one step at a time.
Yeah, I do. I always. I've got so many books I just haven't started, just because like I've not had the motivation to do anything new. Like I'm stuck on one and I have to finish it, but
I do that.
Can't be bothered. It's the worst.
Yeah, I do that sometimes, but then I always get round to it.
Yeah, I can't. I just like I've got partway through something and then I just put it down and then I just stopped. And now I don't have the motivation to get back into it, but I refuse to start a new book when I've already got one.
Do you know what I was reading the other day, actually? It was something about that and how us as a generation have become so like reliant upon like 20-second, 30-second videos that our attention to reading, we just can't do it. We just get bored because we're like, we want to know what happens because we're so used to this like 30-second, 60-second max kind of story that we're like always exposed to on TikTok and like Instagram and stuff. We're increasingly becoming more like addicted to technology because we're just not bothered with reading anymore because we're like, we can't do it, we're getting bored.
Yeah, I used to read a book in like 2 days when I was 12, 13.
Yeah.
Before I discovered YouTube.
Too.
Yeah.
I was all over.
But that's why I'm so happy that my sister is such a bookworm because although she is on like her Switch and she'll play Animal Crossing for hours and like she'll play like YouTube videos out loud when she's watching dinner, the girl goes through like 2 books a day. She's literally like banging them out. She's like, finish that one, done it. Like, do you want to? I've got a recommendation for you. I think you should read this. I'm like, Sophie, I swear you started that like 3 hours ago.
That's mad.
That's so nice.
Yeah, like for her Christmas present, my mum got her, I think it was like a set of like 8 Jacqueline Wilson books.
I was just about to say, I might dig out my Jacqueline Wilson.
She was like, what's your favourite present? My books. I'm like, bearing in mind, she got her Switch. I was like, you got your Switch and you're choosing your favourite present as the books. I'm not complaining.
That's nice though.
I am not complaining.
That's so good.
That's lovely.
Yeah, she loves it.
Yeah. I might reread my Jacqueline Wilsons, you know. They brought me so much joy.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
What stuff?
Some of them were so dark.
God, there's one about eating disorders.
Yeah, some of them are like.
I was like, what?
I just remember my sister Jodie and her sister like fall off the tower and died, and it's like, wow, okay.
Duffy was telling me about it earlier. She was like, this one's about bulimia and anorexia. I was like,
insane.
I was like, that's really intense.
Yeah, loads of them are about domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Like, did any of you read
so many?
Lola Rose? And like their dad was and they escaped and they like
but there was another one that was like that as well. It wasn't like Cookie.
My sister
I read Cookie.
My sister read Cookie cover to cover, must have been about 20 times. It was the only book she read.
Really?
They like escaped to the seaside, didn't they?
They did,
do you know what? I was actually thinking about this earlier because I was talking to my sister about these books, and I vividly remember reading this book in about year 7 called Roxy's Baby, and I remember it being about like a teen pregnancy, and she like had to be her mum and dad like disowned her, so she had to go and live with all these other teen pregnant girls. I looked it up earlier, and it's about child trafficking. And I've just but like not just child trafficking, organ trafficking. So they were like having these homes. Honestly, Jamie's like, why was I reading that in year 7?
Oh my God.
What?
And it was a school library book. Why did they let me take that book out?
That's insane.
What?
Yeah, honestly, look it up. It's basically about a girl who has a child, and where she's having this child, they want to sell the child's organs. So I vividly remember this part where she's like running down a hill away from this place. And I was like, I can't remember why, like, what were they doing? And then I looked it up and it's on the blurb.
Just blocked that bit out. It's too traumatic.
It blocked out my memory. Maybe I was so traumatized.
Christ.
Yeah, honestly, it was a crazy time.
That's knocked me back, that, Darcy.
Honestly, I'm going to get it up just to prove. I'll read you the blurb. Oh, it's on World of Books, if you wanted to purchase. So, an intense, thought-provoking and issue-raising novel about the terrible trade in baby organs. yet still retaining the trademark pace and compelling readability.
Oh my God.
Baby organs.
Baby organs. What?
Why was I reading that?
Why was that in your school's library?
Honestly, it's not even like, look at that cover. She's chill. She's not very wild.
Right, okay.
On that note.
That book. Yeah. That's the one for me.
Lovely. Well, on that note,
if you wanna...
that's all we've got time for.
Yeah. If you want to tweet us about Roxy's baby, you can find us on @TBH the podcast on Twitter. Where can they find us on Instagram?
At tbh.thepodcast.
I'm absolutely shaken up by that last one.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I kind of completely forgot that it was about that, but felt like you didn't know.
Well,
it's fine. We're on Brayford Radio every week at 10 on Thursday. We're available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Anchor if you want to listen to us on Anchor. Yeah,
just everywhere, really.
Everywhere.
Find us everywhere. We'll see you next week. And hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.